Hey friends, welcome back. I'm Kayla, and I'm so excited that you stopped by for a visit today. It is Thursday, March the 31st, so it's the last day of March. So I wanted to do a March crochet roundup with all the projects that I did finish this month. So I don't have some of the projects with me because I've already gifted them to who they were going to. But anyway, I almost gifted this, but I was like, no, I'll give it to you next week. So I finished my son's Dakota's green blanket. It's kind of big. It is pretty big. It turned out pretty big. This is sideways, so the width of the blanket. Okay, and then the length of the blanket. I mean, I can't show the whole blanket here, but it turned out really good. So for this blanket, what I did was I made 40 squares. And they're in different shades of green. Now, he did pick some that look blue to me, but he picked them, and it's his blanket, so whatever. It goes good. It goes well together. So what I did anyway was I did 20 solid colored squares, and then I did 20 multicolor squares, and so every other one is a solid and a multicolor, and that's going both ways. So wherever there's a solid square, there's going to be multicolor by it, and then a solid square and multicolors. So that's what I did. And then I joined them by doing, my favorite way of joining, which I have a video of that, and I'll try to remember to link those videos below. How I border my squares, join my squares, and then prepare the blanket for, a border. So I did that. I did all those steps. I bordered each square in that easy way, and then I connected all my squares in that easy way, and then I went around the whole blanket to prepare it for a border, and then I just added one row of granny stitch border around it, and I think it turned out great. I know Dakota will really enjoy it. He'll love it. So yeah, I'm gonna give it to him probably tonight. We got something we need to drop off to him on our way back home tonight, after going and checking on my mom and everything. So I'll probably give it to him then. But anyway, yeah, I'm glad to have that done. It's a big blanket. Like, it's really big. I didn't even fold it worth a flip. But anyway, Dakota will thoroughly enjoy that. Him and his cat and his dog will enjoy it. So I finished that blanket, and then I finished this blanket, which is going to one of my nephews. The youngest one is 2 1/2, and so I was giving this one to him. On this, let me just say, I used all scrap yarns, just every yarn, every color green that I had in my stash. Dakota had pulled those out and just kind of all put them in a bin together, and so that's what I just used. So I don't know the colors. Lots of Red Heart, probably some Mainstay, probably some Craft Smart. There's some sparkle yarn, just whatever was in my cabinet. I didn't buy yarn for it. I just used what I had. So anyway, this particular blanket, I used the Karen Big Cakes. I had 2 of those, and I added in some gray. The colors of the Karen Big Cake was this blue section, white, and yellow. And then I added in some gray, and then excuse me, and I added in a little bit of white in a spot. But anyway, let me see. The blanket turned out really really big. It's big enough for me to cover up with all the way. So he's only 2.5. You know, he'll be 3 this summer. So this blanket, he should be able to grow with this blanket and not outgrow it anytime soon. That's the length of the blanket there. So what I did when I finished the blanket, I went around the whole blanket in a single crochet with this gray yarn, and then I went back around the whole blanket again with a half double crochet, just to give it a little bit of a border, not too much, but you know, something. So I just went around the whole thing with single and then a half double. So I plan to wash this, and I probably won't wash it until I finish the other one. So anyway, I was going to give this to him at Easter along with his other Easter item, but I also need a blanket for his brother, and then a blanket for all my nieces. So I was going to try to like get those done, and I'm like, oh gosh, that's ridiculous that I would even try that much, you know? So anyway, I'm still working on the other blanket for my oldest nephew. I think I'm going to give these to him at a later date, because we moved up the date that we're getting together with my mom to the April the 10th. So I was thinking I probably had to like the 17th to finish that blanket, but we moved that up to April the 10th, and yeah, I'm going to hold off on giving them the blankets for a little while, and then give them to them later. So, yeah. I don't have that folded worth a flip, but just to move it over and get it out of the way. So I'm still going to continue working on the other blanket. I'm just not going to be in a rush to finish it because I have something I want to crochet my mom. That pillow that I showed yesterday that I was working on for Whip Wednesday. I want to crochet that for her, and I might crochet something else for her if I have time, but I'm not going to put pressure on myself. Okay, so also for those 2 nephews, I have a snake for one of them, this snake, and they're pretty long snakes. It'll wrap around my neck there, and the pattern for these snakes came out of Crochet Cute Critters, but I did make my snake longer because I wanted to use the whole skein of yarn, and so that's what I did. I just kept crocheting and got it down to just like the very end, and then I went back to the pattern and did the decreases. Now I kind of wish that I had taken like a little pill bottle or some kind of little tube like that and put a few pebbles in it and close that up in there so that it would rattle, but I didn't think about it until I was on the second snake, and then I didn't want to do it to the second snake when I didn't do it to the first snake, so I didn't do it. But anyway, the patterns for those came from Crochet Cute Critters by Sarah Zimmerman, and that is also Repeat Crafter Me. Right here is the second snake, and he turned out just as cute. He has a red tongue, and this one has an orange tongue. And this one, I'm trying to think of the yarn. Is this Banana Berry? Is this Red Heart Banana Berry? I can't remember the names of them. This one, I can't think of the name of the yarn. I'm sure I told it in a previous video, but I do not keep ball bands. I mean, I just try to throw trash away as soon as it becomes trash. I can't keep anything like that because it's just too much clutter for me. So, I don't know what the colorway of this one is, but it's pretty. I can't even recall what yarn this was. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, there's my 2 snakes, and I hope they'll like them. I looked through the book, and there are several things I could have made, but I decided to make them both a snake. They're boys. They fight a lot. They wrestle a lot. I didn't really want to make them two different things because then I was afraid they'd fight over who gets what or whatever. So I just made them the same thing, and you know, kind of similar colors, not really, but you know. So I guess they can fight over who gets what color. I'll ask their dad. Okay, another thing that I had made this month was this Flip It Baby doll. And the pattern is paid for pattern by Ravelry at Ravelry Crochet and Cuddles Kittens or something. I don't know. I'll link her below. When people have a long name, I can't remember the order it goes. But this is it's a Flip It Baby, so it sleeps and it's awake. So isn't that just adorable? She has a boy pattern coming out, maybe today. And so he is also going to be $4, and I'm going to look and check him out because I might want to make that. But I'll probably give this to my great niece Hazel. She will be 2 this summer in June, I believe. She will be 2, and so I'll probably give this to her. And I would like to make more of these, just to have on hand to give out, you know, to little kids that I come across. The pattern was a little bit shorter, and I kind of lengthened it a little just because I think the pattern calls for a 4 hook. And when I sat down to do it, I had my 5 hook, and I didn't want to get back up. So I was like, it's a 5 it is. So I felt like my baby was maybe wider than the 4 hook would have made it, and so it looked a little bit short for the width, and so I just made it a little bit longer, not much, a little bit. And so I really like this. I think it's a cute pattern. And also I made this lovey on this little dolly from Dollar Tree, and so I was thinking of giving this to my niece Hazel also, but the problem is I just make too much stuff for Hazel. Like, I've already made a blanket and gave to her, dresses and things like that. She's so easy to make stuff for. So I feel like, you know, I've kind of neglected everybody else, so I'm trying to be fair. But Hazel is a little Mexican baby, and so I got this little Mexican looking doll from Dollar Tree. It's just that little rag doll type, you know. And so I made this little poncho lovey for her. And this is a pattern by Zelda, or Jane. Oh gosh, my brain is not working today, but y'all know who Zelda is, right? See, I'll link it below. So she has a lovey pattern, and the thing about this is I've made tons and tons of these loveys. It does pop off her head. This part is on a hairband, and so you can put it on other stuffed animals, things like that. And so it just easily goes right back on her head, and there we go. So I will leave links below to everything, so look in the description box. And I had made this rabbit for Hazel because I was making her a rabbit, but then it turned out looking like a puppy, and she calls all her stuffed animals puppies anyway. And I put a little tail on it. I didn't want to put a pom-pom tail because pom-pom tail, I don't know what it is. Mine never work out right. I mean, they look good and they're there, but then you can pull strands out of them if you try. So I just made a little ball. The pattern didn't call for this. I mean, the pattern didn't have this in there. I just kind of made this up to make a little ball tail. So this is for Hazel. This is for Hazel. And this is for Hazel, but I'm not giving them to her in front of everybody all at one time. I'll spread them out. but this is what I'm going to give her for Easter. So Hazel loves puppies. I mean, she loves stuffed animals. That's all she'll play with. And she calls all her stuffed animals puppy. And I had, was making her a rabbit, but then I realized she's going to call it a puppy no matter what it is. But then it turned out looking kind of like a puppy, so hey. This also came from Crochet Cute Critters. And so there's my rabbit, puppy rabbit. I think that's what we decided to call her, right? And then I have another little niece who is 4. She will be 5 this summer. And she is a tough little girl, Jada. So, and her favorite color is purple. So I made Jada this purple puppy. I used a light purple, it says Craft Smart, and then a darker purple that is also, no, this darker purple actually is a Premier Just yarn that I got at Dollar Tree. I had a little ball of that laying on my desk, and I needed a darker purple, and I had finished all the light purple with the Craft Smart. No, I hadn't finished it all. I was needing to start on the legs, and so I needed a darker purple to start that, and so that little my Dollar Tree bag was laying there, and that dark purple yarn was in it, so I just pulled it out and started the feet. So I used that on the hands and the ear and the eye patch, and it has a little dark purple tail. So I think I might just make a little dark purple collar and put on it and connect it in the back. I think Jada would like that. I was originally thinking I was going to tie a purple ribbon around its neck, but that ribbon wouldn't stay there but a moment. Jada would have that off in no time. She's rough. Like, she is rough. So the puppy may not survive her. Okay, so the pattern for this puppy is also out of Crochet Cute Critters. And so, I tell you what, let me speak about this book a minute. I just love this book. The patterns in here are so easy. They work up so quick. I have made things out of here like in a day's time. You know, work on it some in the morning, some in the midday, some at night, finish it up. I've already started 2 more animals out of this book. I just started them last night. Well, I started one last night because the reason why I started it, I wasn't wanting to start it, but I stopped working on my mom's pillow, and I had some yarn that I bought at Michael's on the, they're having that 30% off sale this week. So I had bought some chunky yarn to make an animal out of here. And so I wanted to see, did I buy enough yarn to make it, or did I need to go back while it's on sale and get another skein to finish it out. I believe one of the skein of the Charisma bulky number 5 yarn is going to be enough for what I was making. But now that I've made something with a chunky yarn, I've decided I want to go get some more chunky yarn. I'm not a chunky yarn person, but I like the way it's working up for these animals and such. And then this morning I was looking, I want to go back to Michael's. Yes, because, I posted earlier this week that Michael's and Hobby Lobby both were having a 30% off sale this week. Well, I only had so much spending money. I don't have like an unlimited amount of yarn money. I only had so much. So I decided that I would go to Michael's and spend my spending money, because Michael's don't always do yarn 30% off. Hobby Lobby does their yarn 30% off every other week. So I could just wait until another week when I have some more spending money, next month or whatever, and go to Hobby Lobby. But Michael's only has their 30% off sale like maybe twice a year. Usually they have that buy one get 150 off, which is not that great of a deal. So the 30% off is a better deal for me. So yeah, I'm wanting to go back because I already started some more. Now the second one I started this morning, I was looking up some yarn on Michael's website, and I was kind of making a list of what I might want to look for when I go. And I had some yarn. Actually, I had a little yarn left over from this blanket. This row right here. This row right here is it's a charisma speckle. Oh, it's impeccable speckle. Yeah. Let me see if I can show that a little bit better. Okay. Actually, this is too. This is a impeccable speckable, and this row right here is impeccable speckable. And so that was on my desk, and I was trying to figure out. I didn't know the name of it, so I got it and was looking it up online to see how much it was on sale and stuff, you know, and how many yards and all that kind of good stuff. And so my book here was laying there, and I had it open to this page that shows everything. And so I had already thought I was going to make this turtle right here. So I decided to go ahead and make the turtle shell with that. I was just kind of sitting there in between doing everything else, and you know, putting off getting up, doing what I need to do. So I decided to make a turtle shell. So I made his shell already with that impeccable speckable, and then I'm gonna make the turtle out of just regular, you know, color yarn. But so yes, I want to get some more charisma yarn to make some things out of this, because I like the way that chunky is working up. But anyway, this is a great book to have. It's a very inexpensive book. You can get it on Amazon. I mean, Books A Million may carry it, I don't know, but you can definitely get it on Amazon. I've made lots of things from this. I've also made a unicorn and a horse that's not in here, but I did the unicorn. I mean, yeah, the unicorn pattern and made a horse. So that's a good book to have if you like to do amigurumi stuff. And if you've never tried and you want to start, this is a good book to, you know, start out with. And then I also made this purple cup. Excuse me. I made a pink one, and Elijah gave it to a friend for a birthday present to go with what he had got her already. And actually, when I went in Michael's the other afternoon to get some yarn, she was working. And so when I went in, she was at the registers, and I went in the door and I was getting a buggy. She said, "Hey, Miss Miller, you look pretty today." And I was like, "Oh gosh, you need to get your eyes checked, girl." And so I went on back there and got my yarn and everything. Oh, and she hollered out. She said, "Thank you so much for that cup for my birthday. I love it." And so, you know, I said, "Oh, you're welcome," you know. And I went on back there and got my yarn. I come back up, and she checked me out and everything. And she's like, "What are you making now?" And I thought, well, the yarn's on sale, so I'm just getting it for future projects. But here's my purple cup that I made, and then I had made her a pink cup. So I'm gonna have my cup sitting at my desk, and I stuck my pins and needles and things in there. I may end up taking some of my stitch markers and hooking on the back of it around here, so they're handy. But anyway, I like my purple cup, and I saw some other people have made the cup, and I appreciate that. I appreciate your pictures. I appreciate, you know, your videos and stuff showing your cup. They all look so lovely. And let's see. Oh, another thing that I had made was my son, Dakota, loves all things England. I mean, he is all about that. He collects England stuff. He has a little shrine in his hallway. At the end of his hall, he has a little bookcase. He has some bookcases, like short bookcases, with his books. And then on top of that, he has England pop figures, the Queen, and just all kinds of different things. I can't even remember what all he has. And then on that wall above, he has the plates from the Queen, Princess Diana, all the relatives that have plates and such. And he's always sending them birthday cards, Christmas cards, things like that. And then they send him cards back, and so he has a big binder of all his mail from the UK. So I made him, out of that book, Ironic Women, I made him the Queen. And so I'll try to pop in a picture of that at the end, maybe, or maybe not. I don't know. So I did make that. And let's see, did I make anything else? Oh, I did show earlier this month Magnolia in her green dress, which is a Bag-O-Day crochet baby dress pattern. And I also showed Patrick, who I made on the Addy machine. So I've pulled my Addy machine out, and I plan on making some stuff. And I'm just going to bring you guys along with me, because that's what I'm doing, right? So anyway, yeah, that's what I made this month. It's been a busy month. April is going to be just as busy. I have projects planned, projects I'm trying to get done. Yeah, like crochet is my middle name now. Yesterday we had really bad weather. I mentioned that on my video yesterday as the weather was getting bad. Right after I finished filming the video and was trying to upload it, the power goes out. I mean, power just went out. I was just, it flickered like 5 or 6 times, and then it was just out. I was like, well, shoot. Now what am I going to do? So I knew it was going to get hot because it was like 80 degrees yesterday. I knew it was going to be getting hot in here soon. So I opened the door and sat out with the dogs for a little bit, and then the power came back on. I was so thankful it did. I think a lot of people in my parish did not have power until sometime last night. I know that the Walmart in the next town was out of power for a little while. And so after I had made the video and was back in there at my desk, and Jody was texting me, are you okay, are you okay? And then he's like, text me, Kayla, get in the kitchen now. And I'm just like, what's going on? And then my son Dakota was texting, are you okay? Well, and then he called. I didn't text him back because he was just like texting really fast. And then he calls and he says, are you home by yourself? And I said, yes. He said, go get in the kitchen. And I was like, okay, what's going on? He said, there's a tornado headed straight over the house. But I never went and got in the kitchen. I was watching. I never went and got in the kitchen. I was watching on the security screen. I have, cameras, different squares where I can see all around me. And if it had, started getting really, really bad, like swirling, the trees were blowing like crazy. But if any of them had started swirling, I would have went in the kitchen. But, so, survived that. It blew over. I was fine. I don't even think we had any trees down. Not that any of us had really checked. But, I don't think we did. And, then my husband, he was at his work, which is a drug rehab in like a couple towns over, and he said that it came right in front of them. A tornado did, and they, just from stepping out the front door and looking, he could see that there were 6 trees down. And so he had gotten everyone into the pavilion where they have meetings and watch movies and different things like that. It's a very big building with no windows or anything. So he had gotten all the patients and staff in there. And so they were all safe and everything. But he said it did pass like right in front of them. And then my son Elijah was at work, which is a different drug rehab, and he had to do the same thing. He had to get all the patients and employees and everything into their building. I can't remember what they call it, but they call it something different besides a pavilion. but he had to get everybody in there, and he said it got bad, but he didn't see the tornado or anything. And so thankfully they were all good. Oh, and then after it was all over, then my son Elijah calls me, and he's like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "Yes, I'm okay." And then he was telling me about his day and everything. And so he said, "Well," I said, "Are you still at work?" Because it was time, he should have been off already. He said, "Yeah." He said, "I wasn't supposed to leave and driving that. Plus, I got everybody in the, quarantined, or I don't know, I can't remember what he called it. But he had everybody, like, sequestered, yeah, something like that, into this building. And so he wanted to make sure it was safe and everything before he let everybody out. So, anyway, yeah. My guys were all worried about me. I appreciate that. But I was fine. Me and my pack of dogs were good. Anyway, guys, okay, so tomorrow is April the 1st, and I will be back with a video tomorrow, and hopefully many more in April. And April the 2nd is my birthday, and so I'm having a crochet birthday party. I don't know when the video will be up, because let me just tell you about my videos. I record the video. It may take hours and hours and hours to upload that video. We do not have internet at our house. We have not had internet since about 2016-ish, maybe 2017. We have not had internet since then. We use the hotspot on our phone, and we have a metal roof, and they don't work together. They work against each other, the hotspot and the metal roof. So sometimes it takes a while. Sometimes I have to wait till somebody gets home and say, "Hey, will you drive my phone up the road?" So they can take my phone and drive it towards town until it uploads. Oh, yeah. So anyway, I don't know what time that will upload, because I cannot predict that. But I hope when you do see it that, you will join me, and we'll have some fun. But anyway, guys, I'm going to let you get going. Oh, and my podiversary is coming up next month also. We'll tell all about that later, but I think it might be my 5 years, 4 or 5 years. I'm going to figure that out. I think, yeah, I'll figure that out, and we'll discuss that later. Bye, friends. I hope you all have a very blessed day. Remember to do something that brings you joy today, and make your day special any way that you can. Bye, friends, and I will see you all again very, very soon.